Oh, you can do better than that. Put your hands together for the Vice President.
We must work together to ensure that small-scale mining is not synonymous with destruction, but rather an avenue for economic empowerment, job creation, and sustainable development.
Accompanied by Minister for Lands and Natural Resources and MP, Honorable Amako Figua. Let's get settled for the next session. Can we get settled to restart the program? Can we do the interview outside? Can we do them outside? I recognize every people. It's a party. Can we move the conversation? Thank you, Honorable Ajay. Let's get settled for the restart of the program. Let's get settled for the restart of the program. Let's get settled for the restart of the program. Can we get settled, please? Can we get settled, please? Thank you, Your Excellency, for raising the
Media, please, move. Media, move.
The Vice President. Please be seated. Good morning and welcome one more time to this parliamentary conference.
Matters that are of national importance, that are of great importance.
Hello.
Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Professor Jane Naana Jane, Honorable Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Honorable Amako Figua, I always call him a government lawyer who has transformed into the President's lawyer, Honorable, and that is polluting our waters. And so the simple object of this meeting is to engage colleague members of Parliament to mobilize members of parliament to support government's efforts to deal with the problem of small-scale mining. And so let me assure the Honorable Minister that we are here ready to engage with you and Your Excellency, the Vice President, on the way forward and what members of parliament can do to support the effort of government to deal with the problem of small-scale mining that is destroying our environment. So on that note, let me welcome all of you and wish that we have a fruitful, progressive, and useful deliberation. Thank you very much.
Oh, we can do better for Honorable Yarika. So the journalist asked whether Parliament is a place or a kingdom. Since leader is here, I want to be sure, are we in Parliament or this is conference? Since the speaker is not here, Parliament is not constituted. So we have
Roxton, Honorable Marita Brew, the President's Council, my brother, Honorable Secretary, the Chief of Staff, and the Vice President's Office, my colleague members of Parliament, and we thank all of you so much for joining us this morning. The heads of our various agencies who are here, from the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, media, ladies and gentlemen. As you know, the destruction of our lands, forests, and water bodies as a result of unlawful and careless small-scale mining operations is one of the most urgent issues confronting our country, and today is a critical milestone in our joint effort to address it. The theme of this conference, Restoring a Culture of Proper Small-Scale Mining in Ghana, is not just a call to action. It is a reminder of our collective responsibility to protect and preserve the natural resources that sustain our livelihoods, our economy, and our future. Honorable colleagues, as representatives of the people, you are acutely aware of the public outcry over the state of our environment. Our forests are being decimated, our farmlands are being degraded, and our rivers are being polluted with toxic chemicals. This is not just an environmental crisis, it is a social and economic crisis that threatens the very fabric of our communities. I was just briefed my first day and I was almost shaky when I started looking at some of the presentation you will see. And just think about it. Forest reserve that is giving us life in the life. So no machine can treat the water properly. So I'm tempted to believe that if that's the case, then we are drinking poison. We are in crisis, and maybe because we don't want to feel distracted or feel scared, we pretend like we don't want to talk about the crisis. But this is a crisis. It's a crisis of our time. And so, honorable members, that is why we feel it is important to invite you. We believe the first step in this effort is engagement and sensitization of the population. And you, as leaders of the various constituencies of the country, should be the first. I want to emphasize that small-scale mining, when done responsibly and within the framework of the law, is not the enemy. It is a vital sector that provides employment for millions of Ghanaians and contributes significantly to our national economy. The problem lies in the illegal and unregulated activities that have taken hold, driven by greed and a disregard for our laws and environment.
Activity for our people. Over the years, we have witnessed an alarming level of environmental degradation caused by illegal and irresponsible mining practices. Our forests are being degraded. Our water bodies are being heavily polluted, rendering our lands barren. This is not only a threatening gesture to our ecosystem, but has also jeopardized the livelihood of many communities that depend on these natural resources. All three water basin systems in the country are under real threat. We have lost 44 of our forest reserves to illegal mining activities, and it will cost us several hundreds of thousands of cedis or dollars to reclaim them. The public outcry on this issue is testament to the urgency with which we must act. Therefore, as honorable members, you are not only lawmakers, but also direct representatives of your people who are most affected by the impact of these illegal mining activities. We have seen the effect of pollution on our water bodies in the very communities we oversee. Babies born with defects or stillborns, and that is of particular pain to us women. To go through the whole process and have your joy curtailed is not something we look forward to. It is therefore fitting that we convene here today to engage in meaningful dialogue and orientation on how we can collectively tackle this national concern. The government of Ghana recognizes that restoring responsible mining practices require a multi-stakeholder approach, and this is why we have outlined deliberate steps to curb the illegal mining, regulate the sector effectively, and ensure that small-scale mining is conducted in a manner that benefits the economy and the local communities without compromising the environment. We appreciate that this is a battle that cannot be fought by the government alone, and we acknowledge the crucial role of Parliament, of CSOs, all of us, in shaping policies, providing oversight, and ensuring compliance within the constituencies within which we serve. In the past months since assuming office, our Honorable Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Honorable Emmanuel Amakofi Boa, has hit the ground running. Congratulations. And you have done so head-on, tackling the issue of illegal mining. Honorable Kofi Boa, you have engaged extensively with key stakeholders, traditional leaders, and security agencies to strengthen enforcement measures and identify efforts in reclaiming degradable or degraded lands. These are commendable steps that require the full support of Parliament, the full support of all of us. As we embark on this orientation session, I urge each one of you respectfully to approach it with a shared sense of responsibility and commitment. Our discussions today must move beyond rhetoric to tangible actions that will drive change in our respective constituencies. We must work together to ensure that small-scale mining is not synonymous with destruction, but rather an avenue for economic empowerment, job creation, and sustainable development. In conclusion, I extend my sincere gratitude to the organizers of this conference, our esteemed speakers, all participants, for your unwavering dedication to this cause. Let us engage constructively, deliberate effectively, and most importantly, leave here today with a renewed sense of purpose to restore a culture of proper mining in Ghana. I want to thank you for your kind attention and wish all of us a wonderful day. Thank you.
Oh, you can do better than that. Put your hands together for the Vice President. Thank you very much. Please be seated. So, having secured executive support at the highest level, the speed which is required. So I'd like to quickly welcome the Technical Director of Forestry at the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, Mr. Joseph Osiakwa.
Reserves as we see them now and our water bodies. The presentation will give you some background, yes, and then give you some perspective of our historical mining activities in Ghana. As you all know, illegal mining predates 1980s, and those days we all know people were not using the type of equipment we are having today on the landscape. People were using implements, the hoes, the shovels, the pickaxes, and for that matter, the devastation was not pronounced as we see today. Please let me direct you before you go back. Somewhere in February 2003, 3 companies were granted mining leases to do prospecting in our forest reserves. These 3 major companies were Newmont Ghana, Chirano Mining, and ADC. These people were given licensing to mine in our forest reserve legally. And then in 2004, additional 25 licenses were given out, but only 10 of them were granted leases to mine. So the next slide will show you the companies that legally have licenses to mine in our forest reserves. The 3 I mentioned earlier and 10 other ones are these companies that you see. If any other company is mining in the reserve, which is not part of this list, they are doing so illegally. Next slide, please. Now, the minister in his speech mentioned that in Ghana we have 288 forest reserves. Out of these forest reserves, we have 288 forest reserves in Ghana, all across the country. And there are 21 protected areas, like the Mole National Park, the Shire Hills. Those are the protected areas. Out of the 288 forest reserves, next slide. Out of the 288 forest reserves, now I'm telling you the impact of illegal mining on forest reserves. Out of the 288, 43 of them are now under threat, serious threat. At the time we prepared this slide, we had 43. In the Vice President's speech, he said 44. Minister also mentioned 44. It means an additional forest reserve that was not recognized, that was not under any attack, under any threat, is now part of the list. Now we have 44. If we don't take action today, maybe in the next week, another new reserve that is not known for illegal activities will add on to the 44. That is what we are having now. And Minister mentioned about 5,000 hectares of our forest reserves are degraded, heavily degraded. And he mentioned that would be in the equivalent of 7,500 football pitches, standard football pitches. And this is serious. This is happening in Ashanti region, the Kwai Carrier district, Western region in Takwa, and Dawasi area, and the western of Bibiani. These are the notorious areas where these illegal activities are happening. Now, we have a color chart here to show you the extent of devastation and heavily armed, using sophisticated weapons. The Forestry Commission goes, their forest guards go with cutlasses, sometimes with guns, but short range. These people are well armed, they cannot. Unless we deploy the military to face these attacks, we cannot overcome this problem. Next slide. Yes, this is how you see them. In the middle picture is showing how our forest roads look like. They are rough, and when they block you here, you cannot pass anywhere to enter the forest. These pictures were taken by some of our forest guards who went through the forest, hid themselves at their own risk. They could have been attacked easily. This is the way they are dressed. And information is showing that some of them are foreigners coming from Burkina Faso, Togo, Cote d'Ivoire. but we don't want to pinpoint any country in this direction. We have to work hard and flush them out of these areas. Next slide, please. Now, what are the impacts on our water bodies? What I've shown you is the forest, what is happening to our water bodies. The Water Resource Commission has indicated that there are 3 water basins in Ghana: the Volta, the South, the Western, and the Southwestern Basin. And the most heavily affected is the Southwestern Basin, where water treatment has become so high because of the pollution levels. And the rivers that are currently under threat are Ankobra River, River Pra, the Fame, Brim, and Otta River, the Tano, and the Bia. These are the main rivers that flow. There are a few other ones, but all of them are now heavily polluted, and they need to be turned to blue under the Blue Water Initiative of the President. Next slide. So this is what Minister talked about. The Water Resource Commission has indicated that to treat water, the turbidity levels between 0 to 500 NT. But currently, they are ranging from 5,000 to 12,000 NTUs. It means at a point in time, they cannot even treat the water because they will continue to add chemicals upon chemicals, and what will be.
Dansoman is also there. They are still the same thing, but they are not the same thing. So there's a Kweku Adu, he's not a pastor. But this by sitting next to the Reverend Kweku Adu. It's like us, it's like Kabon. So the plan was for them to do speeches, but the organizers of the if we made it a conversation, because they have 3 political constituencies. So we would invite the 3 gentlemen and then set the scene for them. Thank you. I did mention this one. You are a senior citizen. I did mention see what's happening. And I photo for you. Thank you. And honorable, thank you very much. Your Excellency, thank you. Thank you so much. Let's get settled for the restart of the program. Let's get settled for the restart of the program. Let's get settled for the restart of the program. Can we get settled, please? Can we get settled, please? Thank you, Your Excellency, for raising the
Media, please, move. Media,
the
move.
Vice President.
Media. Go this way. Watch yourself.